Some people learn the hard way that the quietest neighbors are often the ones you shouldn't mess with. For 12 years, I knew every inch of my 5 acres. Walked it with the surveyor the day I closed. Steel pins in the ground. My land. My lines. No question. GPS verified. Recorded at the county office. When you do things right, the truth has a way of sticking around. Then my new neighbors moved in. Nice enough at first. Waved from the driveway, seemed friendly. They even brought over banana bread. But within 6 months, things changed. They always do. It started small. Their kids riding ATVs on my back pasture. I let it go. Sometimes being neighborly means picking your battles. But what happened next changed everything. Then they parked a trailer on what they called the shared area. There is no shared area. But apparently, wishful thinking beats property law. One morning I woke to the sound of a post hole digger. They were installing a 6-foot privacy fence. 10 feet inside my property line. I walked over calm. Hey, I think there might be a misunderstanding. Your fence is on my land. His response? Surveys can be wrong. I pulled out my recorded plat, GPS coordinates, the original survey. Sent copies by certified mail. They refused to sign for it. Evidence, apparently, was optional. They refused to sign for the certified mail. I taped a copy to their door. It disappeared. The truth has a way of making itself inconvenient. But what happened next changed everything. I called the county. My lines were correct. Then I hired a second surveyor. Just to be absolutely sure. Same result. The fence was 10 feet onto my property. The wife opened the door, looked at my papers, and said 4 words that sealed their fate: take us to court. Then she closed the door in my face. I spent 2 weeks thinking about it. Not planning revenge. Just considering the mathematics of respect. I talked to my lawyer. Got it in writing. Filed proper notices with the county. When you do things right, the law becomes your shield. I gave them one final written warning. 14 days to remove the fence. Day 14 passed. The fence remained. Some bridges you don't get to unburn. But what happened next changed everything. Day 15 came. The fence was still there. Significant other, I walked to my barn, keys in hand. Sometimes the most important walks are the shortest ones. I started up my bulldozer. The engine roared to life like justice clearing its throat. Some conversations require heavy machinery. I lined up the blade with the first fence post and pushed. 6 feet of cedar and steel met the immovable force of being absolutely, legally right. 6 feet of cedar and steel folded like cardboard. I moved to the next post. Then the next. Methodically. When you're right, you can afford to be patient. He came running out screaming. Police. Lawsuit. Hell to pay. I handed him the survey, the county confirmation, the lawyer's letter. The 14-day notice he'd ignored. But what happened next changed everything. 12 years of surveys. County confirmations. Lawyer's blessing. Every I dotted, every T crossed. Some people mistake preparation for luck. The officers looked at my paperwork. Looked at his fence on my land. Civil matter, they said, and left. Justice sometimes wears a badge that walks away. He did try to sue me. Naturally, this went exactly as expected. Which is to say, spectacularly poorly for him. The judge dismissed it in 20 minutes. You're lucky he didn't countersue for removal costs. Swift. Final. Perfect. The fence stayed down. The property line stayed where it always was. Steel pins in the ground don't lie. When someone shows you a survey, a lawyer's letter, and a 14-day notice, and you still ignore it, well, some lessons are more expensive than others. My neighbors learned something that day. When the bulldozer shows up, it's already too late to negotiate.